Hello, welcome back to the Dear Little Daughter podcast. I'm your host, Gabrielle. Welcome. I do have my daughter, Millie, next to me, so if you hear some grunts and little newborn noises, that's her. We're in this together now. So, today we're going to be talking about getting my pink back, and I'm going to explain what that means, and then talk about the newborn trenches, talk about all things Millie, as she's 1 month old tomorrow. Exactly a month old tomorrow, so that's crazy. The day this goes up, she's a month old. When that happened, so we're gonna chit chat a little bit about getting my pink back, and I'm gonna explain what that means real quick. So there is a little social media trend thing about getting your pink back, and basically as a mother, and what that means, and the analogy there is flamingos lose their color after they have babies, and then it takes a while to regain their pink, because all their nutrients and all of their energy and everything goes to their babies, and eventually their pink returns, but it does take a little bit for their color to return. So there's a motherly term called getting your pink back, and that was a huge thing for me, knowing I was pregnant, knowing I was gonna have a newborn, knowing I was gonna have a daughter, knowing I was gonna be a mother, was how do I keep my pink, and also how do I get it back, because I know I'm probably going to lose a little bit of it, at the very minimum, lose a little bit of it, right? Because it's not it's inevitable. You're going to lose a little bit of yourself in motherhood, and that's kind of just how it happens. But I wanted to talk about kind of how this month has been. It feels like I've had Millie forever, and also 12 seconds. It doesn't feel like a month, but at the same time it feels like 10 years. I feel like I know every nook and cranny of this little human being, and I know everything about her, but I don't even I haven't even scratched the surface of who she's gonna be, which is also really cool and fun. But she has been sleeping okay, and she eats really well. She's really a great baby. I really have no complaints, honestly. I really don't. And I feel so lucky to be rested. I have such a village of people who love me and love her and love my boyfriend Matt and love all three of us, who want to help and support and care for us and be there for us. And I feel so incredibly lucky that I have all that. And so today, for example, I call her Mill, if you're unaware. Mill was up a lot last night, about every hour, and she didn't want to eat. She just wanted to be held. She didn't want to be in her bassinet. And that's okay, but I was super tired this morning, and she's up and at 'em at 5:30 when her dad leaves for work. She's like, oh, dad's gone, it's time to get going. So about 5:30 this morning we were up, and then at 7:30 she ate, and then we headed off to grandma's house so that mom could take a nap. So, and then we were at grandma's for a few hours, and now we're back. My mom works from home, so it's super helpful, and I'm so fortunate for that, that she can help with Mill, and I can rest or pump or do whatever I need to do while grandma watches Mill. So that's been very helpful as well. But I did want to talk about getting my pink back. Like I said, it was a big focus for me because I am prone to my mental health stuff. I have anxiety and depression, and so I'm prone to fall into depression. I'm prone to be anxious. I'm prone to all of that. And so a big thing for me knowing I was going to have a baby was I don't want to get postpartum depression. I know how serious and how sad and how scary that can be, and regular depression mixed with postpartum does not sound fun for me. And thankfully I have had no symptoms of that. I've had no issues with that. So I've had the baby blues a couple of times, and the baby blues are essentially just when you get sad around sunset time. And it's pretty debilitating, I'll be completely honest. It's a really lonely, isolating feeling. It's kind of icky, but I haven't had them be very serious. I just kind of the sun will set and I'm like, oh, it's another night of, it's usually after we have a rough night. That next day I'm like, oh shit, here we go again, that kind of thing. And I've had the baby blues that term, I've had them probably 3 or 4 times out of her month of life. So I feel very fortunate and very lucky to have had a very positive postpartum experience thus far. But to get my pink quote unquote back, here's what I've been doing. So let's talk about that. My morning routine. My morning routine is something I am still curating and working on, but I will walk you through my ideal morning routine. So my ideal morning routine, Mill will get up at 5:30 when her dad leaves for work, okay? And this is kind of Monday through Thursday, and then Friday, Saturday, Sunday, it's kind of because Matt doesn't work Fridays usually. It depends, but typically he doesn't work Fridays, so usually he will take her in the morning and I will sleep in on Fridays, and then Saturday, Sundays are kind of free-for-alls. We kind of just do whatever, but I would like to have a routine that we do Monday through Thursday, like a ritual type of thing in the morning. So 5:30, wake up, feed her, and then I would actually, that's a lie. See, that's where moms fall into that kind of thing. Is it's like, well, she's a baby, she needs, but it's like I need to, you know what I mean? And so it's not me being selfish and me neglecting that's not what I'm doing, but it's like if I could get up 10 minutes before 5:30 and brush my teeth and wash my face and make a coffee and then feed her, you know what I mean? Like I can do little things for myself so that I'm giving my all to her, if that makes sense. So my ideal morning routine is I get up 10-15 minutes before Mel and I do exactly what I just said. I brush my teeth, wash my face, and make a coffee before she gets up. That's the ideal dream. It's really hard though, because if I don't make Matt a coffee in the morning, which sometimes I do, sometimes I don't, I was really good about it, and then this week I hit a wall and I was like, oh my god, I'm so tired, I cannot get up and make you coffee. And he's like, you don't have to make me. I'm like, I like to. But if I get up and make him a coffee, I could just stay up because he gets up at 5. So it's not like that much more time that she's not awake, you know? So I could get up at 5, I can make Matt a coffee, and I can make myself a coffee. And then I could go back, brush my teeth, do all the things. And then I could do that in silence because I have seen the Savers morning routine, which is just the SAVERS, which all that stands for is silence, affirmations, visualization, exercise, reading, and scribe. And scribe just means writing, if you're unaware. I don't know, you probably knew that. I'll shut up. Okay, so I want to do the Savers morning routine. It's just, that's a lot of steps for a little amount of time that I have, so I kind of want to incorporate that into this routine. So the silence is, I'm gonna write the Savers thing down quickly. So Savers, because I will forget. Okay, the ideal morning routine is, like I said, the silence is the first S, and I can brush my teeth, wash my face, and put on my eye patches in silence and make my coffee in silence. So then affirmations, I can do that while I journal later in the morning. Visualization, do a Pinterest scroll while she eats, while Mill eats her first bottle or her first like breastfeed of the day, whatever we decide to do that morning. And then exercise. I got a walking pad for Christmas and I haven't used it yet. Yeah, okay. So I really want to start using that. Today it's 50 degrees. We could easily take a walk, so we might do that. That's so exciting. I'm so excited to take a walk outside. And then R for reading. I really want to get back into my Bible reading in the morning. I love that. I cherish that time, but I'm really bad about it. It feels really good. I have the Bible app on my phone too, so I could just do that too. But I like cracking open the Bible and just spending that time. And then scribe would be my journaling. So that's kind of the ideal morning routine, but it also just, I have to incorporate that piece by piece throughout her routine too. So it's kind of a little difficult, but how I have learned how to feel myself in this season of motherhood and newborn life and all that jazz. You can, if you're watching this on YouTube, hi, but you can see the Eras Tour poster behind me. I cranked Taylor Swift usually it's Tortured, but I have the way Tortured Poets has, there might be an ad playing on YouTube in like 2 seconds. Okay, there's not. The way Tortured Poets department took over my life, and that's one of the only albums I listen to ever, is insane. So it's usually Tortured Poets department, and I will take a shower. Mill will lay in her bassinet. I turn on Mill's little aquarium so she's occupied. And then I take a nice hot shower and I do the whole routine. She's really good about letting me shower. I think she likes how warm it gets in the bathroom. It's like, it's not too warm, don't worry, but I think she likes that comforting, like the warmth. So she is really good about, I take an everything shower multiple times a week. Like I get to wash my face in the shower, I get to wash my hair, I get to condition it, I get to shave, I get to exfoliate, and then afterwards I get to do the rest of my skincare. I get to moisturize my whole body, and then I get dressed and I do my hair. She's really good about letting me do that. So that's how I've been doing that. And then getting ready, like today I put makeup on for the first time in a few days and I feel like a new woman. I put my bracelets on that I used to wear all the time, and I just feel so good. Bless you. And then I got new glasses the other day, and those make me feel so fun. And I try to follow the 2 out of 3 rule, which is basically you have makeup, hair, outfit, and then you do 2 out of those 3 things every day. I try to do that. I try my very, very, very best, but I am not the best at getting dressed every day. Like if I'm in my pajamas, you're okay. No. If I'm in my pajamas and I don't need to leave the house that day, I'm not gonna change, but then do my hair and my makeup, you know, that kind of thing. So and then creating content has been so much fun for me, and I absolutely adore it. I make no money from anything I'm creating, but it literally lights me up, and that's like the point of it, you know what I mean? So I've been loving doing reels, doing TikToks. The podcast is my focus right now. And I do video and audio for it, and it's just so much fun. And then the last thing I'm going to talk about is community. So I've talked about mom friends before, and I've talked about like Facebook groups and all that jazz, so I'm not going to get too much into it. But even if you're not actively posting or whatever in Facebook groups, being in Facebook groups and seeing other moms post at 3 a.m. and posting at 7 a.m. and posting at 9 p.m. and 10 and 11, and seeing them being active in there and seeing them talk about and comment and post about the same things you're going through, it makes you feel so much less isolated. There is a picture right now floating around TikTok and Instagram of, it's like an animated an animated picture that shows all the different moms in the neighborhood, their lights on at 3 a.m. And it's just kind of cute how, like, if you feel alone, you're not, you know, like you're feeding your child at 3 a.m. There's a million other moms feeding their child at 3 a.m. You know what I mean? Like, and that can feel lonely, but, you know, like, if you take the time to think about every other mom that's doing the exact same thing you're doing, it does feel less alone. And like I said, I'm lucky. I have a village, I have help, I have family, I have friends, I have support, and not everyone has that. So I do understand that I'm talking from a very privileged place of having a village, but community is huge, and me being like a creator, quote unquote, right now, makes me feel so much less alone. Yeah, you're okay, no. Makes me feel so much less alone in the fact that I'm doing something I love and I've always loved, and people see it, and I get DMs and comments and stuff of people being like, oh, I love that video, blah, blah, blah. It's like, oh, then I'm doing something that I love and other people love, and it just makes me feel a lot better about myself and my journey and all that jazz. So that is it for today's podcast episode. I hope that was helpful. I'm going to talk more about getting my pink back once I'm more in the thick of it, but that's how I kind of just feel like myself in this area of life. Also, another thing I want to talk about very, very quickly, making my coffee in the morning. It's an art. I have an espresso machine, a cute little single pull espresso machine, and it's just the cutest. I'm gonna make some TikToks this weekend about me revamping my coffee station because I'm doing that and I'm so excited. But my coffee in the morning is literally what I go to bed thinking about, and I just love it. And it's nothing crazy. It's literally like lately I've been making a honey vanilla latte. I put honey in the cup, pour the espresso or brew the espresso over it, put vanilla syrup over ice, and then espresso milk, and that's it. And it's been so good. And then you're currently, if you're watching on YouTube, or I mean, even if you're not, if you're listening to audio, you're sitting on a Dunkin' cup right now. And just going out and getting a coffee is so much fun for me. And then also making it and the art of making it and the joy I get from that morning coffee. I will drink 1 to 2 a day. I have decaf espresso and I have regular espresso. Just depends on my mood. The decaf I don't really drink that much anymore just because I'm not pregnant anymore and I can't have caffeine. But I am breastfeeding and I do need to watch the caffeine intake a little bit. But it just depends. But I go to bed thinking about my morning latte. And it's just, that's such a joy for me. And I think even having that little joy every day is so important to being a mom. Like, you need something. You can't pour from an empty cup. And if you're a mom, you can. You know what I mean? Like, you can pour if your cup's empty, but like, it's not fun or enjoyable or a good experience. If your cup's empty and you're pouring, then you're not pouring into them anything good. You know what I mean? So it's just all about finding the little joys, I think, and really knowing what makes you feel like you, and then doing that and making sure you're doing that every day. She's getting a little fussy, so we're gonna end this here. I hope you guys enjoyed this. Meow. Let me end up my podcast and then I'll play with you. Yeah. It's okay. We're gonna do some tummy time here in a second, and yeah. So, hope you guys enjoyed this podcast episode, and I will see you guys next Friday. Love y'all. Bye.